Katie Erickson only has to drive a few minutes from her home before she's surrounded by wind turbines.
We just want to do everything in our power to put a stop to this.
Suncor Energy is building 8 new wind turbines near Erickson's rural home. She and her parents are worried about increasing complaints that turbines can cause health problems, everything from headaches to insomnia to severe stress.
I don't want them around anyone because of the health concerns.
Erickson appealed the project, and that sparked these hearings, Canada's first into the effects of turbines on human health. The question, is there something about the sound and vibration of turbines that can affect some people, and just how far away should they be? Dr. Bob McMurtry is the star witness for the anti-wind power side. He's the former Dean of Medicine at the University of Western Ontario. He's calling for a proper study into why people feel sick when turbines are near their homes.
The key things that are most unusual is that they feel this when they're at home. When they go away, they get better. When they return, they're worse.
1/3 of all of Canada's wind turbines are in Ontario. In fact, wind power is growing faster here than in any other part of the country. But as the numbers increase, so do the protests. Those protests are well organized and determined, pitted against the Ontario government that's counting on wind power to cut pollution and provide energy and jobs.
It will not stop us from doing what we were elected to do, which is to break our addiction to dirty coal-fired generation.
Canada's wind industry says this is just about a few people stirring up a fuss.
For the vast majority of individuals who we work with when we're involved in these projects, they are in favor of it.
Katie Erickson is keeping a close watch on the turbines going up behind her house. She hopes the hearings will prove they should never operate so close to people.
At the beginning, this is the room we had the major problem in.
Glenn Wilds is standing in what used to be his bedroom. You see, his family doesn't live here anymore. Wind turbines drove them out.
Well, we first started feeling it in the spring of 2008, but we didn't really know what was wrong with us. So we were feeling awful itchy in the house, major headaches, our hearts were really pounding.
I was getting sicker again this year.
A block away, Sandy McLeod has the exact day they turned the turbines on near her home marked on her calendar.
Night after night after night without sleep, and you got so exhausted.
Just around the corner, Helen Forster rhymes off the symptoms she and her neighbors have been experiencing for well over a year now.
I have tinnitus and pressure in my ears and fatigue, heart palpitations, stress, anxiety.
The companies that run the 38 turbine wind farms say they've been studying the problem for months now.
We didn't find anything, so there's nothing we can point to directly that's causing these issues.
But David Calling thinks he knows. Calling is an electrical agricultural consultant. He believes high-frequency electrical pollution is traveling from the turbines along these wires and into these homes.
All the collection lines should be buried. They should never be above ground between the wind turbines and the substation.
The wind companies did bury some lines last fall, but only small sections. And while they were working on that, they paid for hotels for some of the affected residents. But when they returned, the problems were still there.
It hasn't been fixed to near our satisfaction.
The company says they're running out of solutions. Fed up with it all, Glenn and Brenda Wilds have moved to Kincardine, but they worry about their son and his growing family, who also live amongst the turbines, but can't afford to move.
Fix it or help us.
Well, a runaway wind turbine has closed down a section of road into Hatchby. Now, this isn't the first time something like this has happened, and Eyewitness News found out what's being done to keep it from happening again.
The sight and sound of this wind turbine means only one thing. The brakes have failed and it's spinning out of control. To be safe, CHP shut down Tehachapi Willow Springs Road between Highline and Cameron Canyon Road late Saturday night and all day Sunday. The concern is that a catastrophic event, like the one shown in this YouTube clip of a runaway turbine in Holland, could happen. A wind turbine expert we spoke with says the chances of that happening, though, are very low. However, this isn't the first time a turbine has run away in Tehachapi. In May 2009, this wild wind turbine shut down Highway 58. So could this be the beginning of more brake failures? Experts say no. They say the problem doesn't have to do with the age of the turbines, but the design. The current Wild wind turbine is a 1984 Windmatic model, and while it has brakes in place to control how fast the blades turn, if the brakes fail, the wind will cause it to spin out of control. Newer turbine models had the feature to turn out of the wind so the blades will stop spinning. So to fix this Wild wind turbine, we just have to wait for the wind to die down.
A Japanese government survey has detected low-frequency noise from wind farms in homes located near the facilities. The survey followed complaints of headaches and sleeplessness from people living close to wind power plants. The Environment Ministry checked 3 sites in central and western Japan. In 2 houses in Ikata Town, Ehime Prefecture, it detected sound levels in the same frequency band as those produced by wind turbines more than 200 meters away. Low-frequency noise is usually defined as sound with a frequency of 100 hertz or lower. This is the first time that this type of noise has been detected in houses near any wind turbines in Japan. The Environment Ministry says it does not yet have enough scientific data to determine the possible adverse effects of this noise on human health. It plans to increase the number of observation sites to collect more information.